Right now at noon, as a strong windstorm came and left, dozens of tree-related emergencies reported across the area. The impact captured on camera, plus a closure for one of the largest healthcare workers' strike in state history. We're hearing from both sides. And a local worker insurance nonprofit targeted with email threats and shots fired into the CEO's home. What the investigation says so far. And later, young offenders in Washington speaking up. Why they say transferring people like them to adult prisons was and will continue to be a mistake. Your news at noon starts right now. Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm China Green. All wind warnings and advisories have been canceled on the coast and in the valley, but many are still feeling the impact of the strong windstorm that started yesterday. This is a live look right now at the PGE outage map. So PGE is reporting about 10,000 customers still without power. That's down from almost 30,000 this morning. I think at its peak it was around 60,000 maybe last night. PGE also working to inspect and restore power in more areas and remind people to stay away from down power lines. So we'll go to Rod Hill now, take a closer look at that windstorm impact.
I mean, we had what, 4, 5, 6 hours of significant wind, meaning gusts that were hitting 40 and higher at times last night, and that's what's the big leftover mess is the power outages. Our storm is all the way up here near the Canadian border. It's continuing to slowly weaken. Seattle right now still getting winds gusting to 36, 40 miles per hour in their area. But here at home, we're literally on the tail end of everything to the point that every shower that comes through, I'm like, is that the last shower of the day? Eventually, we will see all rain come to an end this afternoon, and the winds will get closer to 15. Right now, it's still a noticeable breeze west to 26 in Troutdale and southwest to 24 in Hillsboro. Astoria's about the same. We have wind warnings out for parts of central Oregon and up into parts of eastern Oregon. Pendleton in a wind advisory. You're still seeing winds gusting to 46. Okay, take a look, pick out your area. This represents the true range of what we had. PDX at 52 mile per hour wind gusts last night. Salem spiked at 46. The coast hit 70. Astoria 71, Newport 73. There was a 60 mile per hour wind gust in Clackamas County. I'm not positive, but I believe that was likely attached to a passing severe thunderstorm. There were no tornadoes in actuality last night. The severe warnings that were issued turned out to be damaging windstorms from thunderstorms that also produced some large hail up to an inch in diameter. Estacada, 48 mile per hour wind. Here is the radar. Again, everything's breaking up and slowly moving up to the north. And as I mentioned, at any moment now, we're going to see the last shower come through. We're not quite there yet. We're at 53, though, eventually becoming completely dry, mid-50s this afternoon. Back to you.
Thank you, Rod. Strong winds could be dangerous as trees and power lines went down in many spots across the area. Ashley Grams has been tracking those all morning and afternoon, including at the library in Hillsboro.
Tree removal crews are hard at work this morning after a tree crashed down in the Chute Park Library, a parking lot. Take a look at where it uprooted, and then you can see the rest of the tree landing here on the entrance to the library. And across Chute Park, another tree hit the ground, this one near some playground equipment.
Yeah, these trees are real precious to the community, and we have a tree service that monitors them on a regular basis and trims them up when they need to be and removes the ones that are unsafe.
As the oldest park in Hillsboro, Chute Park is home to some aging trees, and an urban forestry team keeps an eye on them. Today, crews eventually decided to remove a third tree when they found the root system damaged. Aside from this cleanup, people across Portland spent the morning clearing the damage from last night's wind and rain. Trees and downed power lines nearly blocked Northwest Thompson Road. While this street in the St. John's area was marked with caution tape and a sign, a large branch brought down a power line. Altogether, Portland Parks and Rec say they've received about 75 reports of tree-related emergencies. As for the library back in Hillsboro, they plan to reopen later this afternoon. Ashley Grams, KGW News.
And we spotted some more trees down across the area. Take a look at this tree that fell on a car in the Overlook neighborhood in North Portland. Tree is so big it's blocking cars trying to get down North Maryland Avenue there. And in Southwest Portland, we spotted a downed tree near Southwest Capitol Highway and Terwilliger. Crews were able to clear most of the tree to keep the road open. And here are some other photos that you shared with us showing the impact of that windstorm across the region. What you're seeing now are some downed trees in the St. John's neighborhood. That was sent in by Cynthia. She said thankfully there was no injuries and they were just waiting for PG to arrive and assess the power lines. Next, Janet shared the photo taken around North Plains neighborhood on Northwest Dersham Road. She said some people there may have hard time getting in and out today. And then this photo out of Southwest Alden Street and 66th shared by Steve. He said the tree went down last night and blocked a road. It was still there this morning, but thank you to everyone sending us these photos to keep us updated on the weather impacts in different areas. Definitely stay safe out there.
Today, we are proud to announce that we have secured major contract that marks a pivotal moment in our fight for a just and equitable healthcare system that focuses on patient care.
And that was the executive director at the Oregon Nurses Association speaking earlier this morning as the largest healthcare worker strike in Oregon state history has come to an end. Nurses represented by the ONA have approved the latest contract offer from Providence. And according to the union, nurses at 8 Providence hospitals voted overwhelmingly in favor of the new deal. It includes pay raises ranging from 20 to 42% over the course of the contract and 16 to 22% right away. Nurses also get retroactive pay and provisions around staffing levels. They're set to return to work by Thursday. Providence said in a statement that they recognize the challenges faced over the past 6 weeks and are proud of these agreements that address issues the union bargaining teams identified as priorities during negotiations. They went on to say that they look forward to working in cooperation and to find sustainable solutions. Portland police are looking for at least 2 people they say robbed a bar at gunpoint in the Hazelwood neighborhood. This happened late last Friday night at Rounders on Northeast Halsey. This is a look at picture from surveillance video inside of the bar. Witnesses say one man came in first, followed by 2 armed people in masks who were also wearing what looked like delivery driver vests. Police say they demanded money from the bartender, then pointed their guns at customers, stealing phones and credit cards before running off. Big news today from the Rose Festival. The Grand Floral Parade is returning to an all downtown route this year. Rose Festival organizers and Mayor Keith Wilson made the announcement at an event earlier today. For the last few years, the Grand Floral Parade has started at Veterans Memorial Coliseum and weaved through the Lloyd District. For this year, it will be entirely downtown. The new downtown route will be on Nadeau Parkway and finish at 14th and Taylor.
This move is not just about changing the location, it's about bringing us together in our urban core and reminding us of why we all love Portland and why the Renaissance is within our reach together when we celebrate together.
The Grand Floral Parade will happen on Saturday, June 7th. In Lake Oswego, police are looking for the suspect who fired multiple gunshots through the front door of a home. That house appears to belong to CEO of Oregon's not-for-profit workers' comp insurance company, which also received some sort of threat. Libby Dowsett has the story.
We've had a fair amount of information come in so far, and at this point we don't have a definitive description on somebody.
Around 4 o'clock last Friday morning, someone fired gunshots into the home of SAFE CEO Chip Terhune. A spokesperson at the nonprofit workers' comp insurance company, State Accident Insurance Fund, released this statement to KGW and asked to remain nameless. Quote, "We can't share specific details during an ongoing investigation, but we are working with law enforcement and taking steps to ensure the safety of our employees." An employee at SAFE sent KGW these internal memos in which Terhune shares details about having his front door blown out by bullets, saying he thought it was rocks being thrown at his Lake Oswego home.
Initially, it's sort of hard to determine what had happened, but fairly quickly after our officers arrived, they were able to determine that it was in fact gunfire.
Also mentioned in the alleged internal emails, Terhune explains SAFE received an email threat from the purported shooter naming company employees and others and providing information that may have been found on the internet. Terhune told employees, quote, although it does not target any specific employee, the email references knowledge of employee and relatives' names and addresses. In Lake Oswego, police want to hear from anyone who saw anything suspicious in the Westlake neighborhood near that time.
If someone were in that area at that time of the day and they saw someone or something that looked weird, it would be important to contact us and let us know.
We also contacted Governor Tina Kotek's office. A spokesperson told us the governor's office does not comment on pending investigations. Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
Here's a look at some national headlines this afternoon. More confusion comes as a deadline passed for millions of federal workers who were asked by Elon Musk to provide a list of their latest work accomplishments or face termination. The Trump administration told federal agencies yesterday afternoon that complying with Elon Musk's request is voluntary. And then came a new order from Musk last night, giving employees more time, but making it clear that they need to comply. President Trump had backed Musk's move, calling it an ingenious idea. Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes will remain in prison after losing a bid yesterday to overturn her fraud conviction. A federal appeals court said Holmes did not prove that there were legal errors during her 2022 trial for defrauding investors. She was convicted for misleading investors about the capabilities of her company's blood testing device. Holmes began serving her 11-year prison sentence in 2023. And a health update on Pope Francis. The Vatican says the Pope, quote, slept well all night and was well enough today to meet with Vatican officials to make some governing decisions. The previous evening, doctors had said that the Pope remained in critical condition with double pneumonia, but reported a slight improvement in some lab results. And those are a look at your national headlines.